That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. I'm here. Yeah, all you fuck niggas. Don't worry, I'm just getting in my character because this is where I'm going with it. Yes. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo, and I'm back giving them the business. You heard? Shout out my partner Don Dinero, who's not with me. K-Walla, he's out in Miami selling his books. You know what I'm saying? And this is a big deal. Go get that book, The Formula, 16 Lessons in Life. Absolutely will change yours if you apply these lessons to live a fruitful and prosperous life from a mental, spiritual, physical level. It's so dope, man. I love the book. Congratulations, Dinero. Okay, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here with the one and only. How do you want me to say your name? Arthur Everlazt?
Arthur
Everlazt in the building, man. Yes.
It means
I got him behind the mic. Pause for the first time. I've been telling him I need to interview his ass. I got his ass now. Yeah. I'm wearing the shirt. I want to make sure. Let me move the mic out the way. I want the people to see it. That's what this is. This is what it's all about right here.
Real always wins.
Real
and I want to thank you for that support,
wins.
brother.
You know what it is.
Thank you for that support. That's
you know
dope.
what it is. Real always wins. I love that slogan regardless because, you know, I hope real always wins.
I made that up because it makes you think.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When people
you know
see
what
that,
it makes me think? I'm going to tell you what it makes me think.
What?
Does real always win? That's what it makes me think when I read it. I want to believe real always wins because I'm a real motherfucker. And I'm like, yes, I'm winning. But I want to make sure that there are other real people and they get the same flowers and gets to win as well because there's a big thing to say about being real. At least in my mind, just being real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but fake doesn't always win. You know
I know. The fake it till you make it is the slogan they use, right?
Yeah, and that shit don't work all the time.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah. I'm not with that.
If you sit back and you really analyze R-A-W.
R-A-W. Oh, man, you just brought me back to Big Daddy Kane.
Hey, man, listen.
Ooh, wait.
Listen, man.
Shout out Big Daddy Kane. He just did the vibes on Icon with Ja Rule. You know, shout out Ja. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. Okay. He just did that whole vibe setting, which he performs like with band and crazy on Icon. That should be fire. I don't know if you got to see the Raekwon shit and Ghost. They killed it.
Yeah.
You know, they killed it. So man, shout out Ja. He's doing his thing with that shit.
Yes.
But dope. Real always wins. Raw. R-A-W.
Yes. That's one of 5 books that I've released.
I'm gonna show the book. This is the raw book right here. This is the raw book right here. Let me make sure it's right.
Yeah. That's to show the back so they know that I really wrote it.
No.
Yeah, see my pictures back there. Yeah, check that one out. See?
Yeah.
See, because people be fronting out here. See, fake doesn't always win. Real wins. There you go.
You looking like a pastor right there, bruh.
Hey, man, I had to preach the gospel to the streets. You know what I'm saying?
But what got you into actually writing books? Because that's something that, again, that's an art form, really. Writing is not easy. I don't think you're a Harvard-educated author. You know what I'm saying? Like where you learned English and everything. Because I want to inspire people or kids or whatever that might be hearing this podcast or seeing it, that they could do it too. What got you started writing books?
Honestly, I had read a lot of books. I was locked up at the time in New York State. And
so you was reading a lot while you was inside is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I didn't read nothing when I was in the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was in the streets. So the only thing I read in the street was probably like the newspaper every day.
Wow.
Because I stayed reading the newspaper. I grew
up
funnies? Doing that. Nah, the real, I want to, from the front to back, word, Chris, I read the whole joint.
Nah, that's dope.
I got to see what's going on.
You know, it's funny, I used to read the paper, then I stopped because I only did sports because the news was nothing but negative. And I didn't like to keep reading all of that shit.
Nah,
and I believe it. You know, the older I got, I really realized the propaganda that's involved with, let's say, newspapers.
Yeah. The business of
You know, when I went through my trial, I'll give you something with the newspapers in New York City. The Daily News is the New York police. The NYPD controls the Daily News.
Right.
The Washington Post, okay, the New York Post is controlled by the feds. The New York Times is controlled by the feds. So when they have an agenda, they got to write what they wanted in those publications, if you understand. And if you ever look at both of them, because we used to get, my mother and father would always get both papers every day, the Times and the Post, every day. To this day, my mother gets both papers every day. She's 89. Shout out, Nene. Yeah, so at the end of the day, we had both papers in the house, and you would see the same article, but you see it's written differently. That's when you realize. But when I went through my trial, I really seen it. Yeah. Because I know what was real or truth or not truth. And if I knew when the feds wanted their agenda, they wrote the article differently versus the police department. Yeah. And I'm telling you, this shit is fucked up. So they get to dictate that shit. Yeah, and people, if you don't know it, when if you in that New York Post, the feds is on your ass. Trust me when I tell you, they coming.
But I was reading a lot. I read a lot of books, man, at one time, man. I had to been fucking like over 200 books.
That's nice. That's what's up.
And I was like, I was writing rhymes. That's where it all started from. I went to the box. They sent my ass to the box, right, Chris?
Hold on.
No, listen, they send you to the box, and you don't got shit in that cell but a piece of paper and a pencil.
And you started writing
And
rhymes.
I was sitting there bored as hell, man. I got tired of talking to my two neighbors, and I was like, fuck it, let me write a rhyme. And I wrote some shit, and I got on the game.
Do you remember your rhyme?
Hell fucking no.
Come on, man. I know you do.
Nah, that shit was years ago, man. And I spit it shit on the gate, and dude was like, yo, I didn't know you know how to rhyme. And I was like, I just wrote that. He's like, word, keep writing. And that keep writing
is what hit you.
Yeah, that shit hit me. You know what I'm saying? I just kept writing. I was writing poetry, rhymes, and I tried to write a book, but I kept going to the box because, you know, all this bullshit up there. And then one day I just sat there and I seen True to the Game. I was reading True to the Game, and I was like, and I was reading about her in the magazine, The Source or something like that, right? And I'm like, this girl is selling her books out the trunk of her car? And I was like,
you can do that?
Word, and I was like, word, you could do that shit? Yeah. And I was like, damn. I was like, yo, at the time, I had like probably like 8 years left on my joint. So I was like, damn, if I make it out of here, what the fuck I'm gonna do? And I was like, yo, I should try to write a book. If I could write that shit, I could sell it. I could sell it out the trunk of my car.
Right.
But I was like, damn, I don't know business. So a teacher walked up on, you know, I'm in a box, so the teacher got to come to your cell every week or whatever. Sure. She stops there. I had my GED, so she didn't need to talk to me, but she was like, do you want anything? Like, want something in business or something like that? I was like, word, you got that? And she would bring me a chapter of the business book every week or every 2 weeks, and I would copy the shit. Yeah. Because I had to give it back to her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, I need this fucking shit. I need this information. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sit there, copy that shit, and that's how I learned it. Sat there and copied the whole business book. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Every week.
Hold on. When you say copy, you wrote it down.
Yes, wrote it down on
Man, I see that. See the youngins out there. That's the old way. Yeah, that's how we had to do it. We have encyclopedias, and we have to write it down because we didn't own the encyclopedia. We had to give it back.
So you gotta give it back.
So you had to write it down. Nigga, fingers hurt. Fingers hurt, yo, for writing shit down so much. And that's part of the reason I wasn't good in school. That's just part of the reason. School never interested me. I never felt
too much writing.
It was a lot of writing, and it also the reason
was no typing.
Again, it never stimulated me. It didn't challenge me. I would walk in classes, didn't study, take the test, get 80s, 75s, 80s without trying.
Yeah, so you like,
if I studied, I know I'm getting 90s to 100s. That's not even an issue. So, but I would not. Only problem I had in school was writing homework. So I had my man, you know, write my homework. You know what I'm saying? So I was definitely doing that from young, getting someone to do that shit. But I don't, you know, we had to, for all you younger people, we didn't have Google. We didn't have Google.
Well, everything I learned from a book at that time because it was just.
You had to read it. And then not only did you read it, you had to understand it. Comprehension
And I had to build with other dudes to get that kind of understanding and comprehension. Because I don't know. I'm just reading.
You're reading words and then you had to put it to action with other people.
So now I got to talk to this dude
to make it make sense.
Maybe, I don't know if he makes sense, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? It works. It helps your brain.
Sure.
It helps your brain. So all of that help made me sit down. I wrote Real Always Wins. I believe that was my first one I wrote full length, right? It took me about 8 months to write that.
That's what's up. This is over 200 pages.
Yeah. All my books is like over 200 or 300 pages. Except for my poem book. My poetry book.
Some of your rhymes?
Nah, it was it's called The Poem Song. It's on Amazon.
Who's your
Kindle.
favorite rapper?
My favorite rapper is Nas, man.
Nas, you writing rhymes. You thought you was Nas inside, didn't you?
Nah, I mean, Nas he knew how to spit things in ways that other dudes didn't. Yeah. I mean, Big was my favorite rapper.
I understand,
but Nas...
it's a Queens thing, maybe. I don't know. I'm from Queens. I don't know.
A little Queens thing with it. But Nas' catalog is longer. He's been out here longer. He's been with me longer. You know what I'm saying?
He spoke to you more.
Yeah,
he spoke to you
he
more.
spoke to me more. Big loved him. You know what I'm saying? But Big, we lost him.
We got cut short.
So that's where that came from.
That's part of my reason I can't make him number one. He don't got the body of work.
Oh, Big, right?
In order to be the number one spot, you have to have the body of work.
Yeah, because a dude like Nas has been out here and he's been able to capitalize
on that. Shout out Esco, man, Nas and shit. He did a great documentary with Supreme. You know what I'm saying? I just want to shout him out. Shout Preem out. Hold your head, boy.
Well, shout out Preem.
Yeah.
But that, I got Real Always Wins. I got Raw 2, which is Winners Never Quit and Quitters Never Win. I have Journey to the Kingdom of Soul, which is actually the first book that I self-published. Journey to the Kingdom of Soul is a fantasy book. It's a black fantasy. It's about a princess and her brother,
you saying
the prince.
A black woman can't be a princess?
Well, no. I mean, the fantasies that have been highly published. I'm not going to say, because this world is so big, I'm not going to say I'm probably the only one that did it, but I know that I mixed hip-hop with mine.
Yeah.
I made some of the characters I used people that was in the industry as some of the main characters. So, for instance, Papa Big. I
heard you.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Papa Big is the king of the Brook.
Of the Brook.
Of the Brook.
Okay.
And the industrial army wants to come and industrialize their town or their civilization. So the book is mainly about that. It's about this army trying to come in and change the culture of the people in the land.
Man, so this is all made believe up off of Everlast's brain.
Yo, man, it's a lot of
Did you do drugs?
What drugs?
I'm asking. Like, I'm seeing if this is where you drew your creativity from.
Nah, brother.
Where does the creativity come from? Just
I smoke all the weed in the world, and that's it.
But did you write these while you was inside? Because you couldn't have been smoking inside. You wasn't smoking weed inside.
Yes, I was.
Yes, you was. I'm sorry. Okay, boss. Okay, heard you.
I'm sorry. You know, some days it's good, and some days it's not there. You heard?
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't go to the store like I can now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now it's on the corner. The store is right there.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. You could walk in the store, but there, had to wait or whatever. Whatever. It's all good. But actually, in there, I wasn't smoking right. I wrote all of my shit natural. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm asking.
If I smoked in jail, I was sitting back watching TV or something, yo.
So you wrote everything not high.
Yeah, and because my brain was just clicking when I realized
I'm trying to just hear where this creativity came from. It's just part of you. Has you always been creative like that? Nah. I mean, you developed it while you was in jail.
Yeah. when it came to writing,
And it probably came from reading all them other books.
I think it's a bloodline thing. Came from my grandmother and through my father and like that.
Okay.
My grandmother was the real book person, writing, reading. My
So it's in your DNA.
father wrote scripts. He wrote screenplays.
Okay.
He filmed his own movie.
Right.
And then I came along and I kind of like took the ball. He never taught me none of this shit. My father didn't teach me none of this.
You know, people don't know, if in case they don't know, Ever is one of my head content creators for Adventure Music and Givin the Business. So that's why I wanted to put him in front of the mic. He's behind the scenes, making sure all the edits come out right and everything. So, you know, if anybody has a problem with what you see, that's the man we got to talk to. I'm just letting y'all know right now. He's the one we gonna get.
Yeah.
So, but Ever's the one handling all of that, and it's like he wrote these books, and I always support independent artists. This is a form of an artist.
Yeah, I'm an independent artist all day.
All day, and I'm like, let's do it. So I was just happy you came and got behind the mic. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen, man. I'm trying to, you know, I mean, hip hop is me, man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in hip hop, and the way how I know how to express it is through writing good stories for people to read and to watch on TV.
You know, I'm gonna have to read the rest of these books because I want to see if your aggression, because you're a very aggressive person. I don't know if you know that.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see if that aggressiveness is in the writing, if that follows through in the writing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. I mean, my writing styles, it depends on what I'm talking about because I write so many different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could write a fantasy. I could write a street hood story.
So let me ask you a question. If you're inside, right, and you're in jail, and how would someone find these books?
On Amazon, on
in jail,
Kindle.
they could order from Amazon?
I believe so. I
know in music we do JPay, and that's how it is. And everything on JPay has to be clean, right? It's very weird. I don't know if it's the same with books because with JPay they don't want music.
Ordered my books in there, and then a lot of women that was coming through. Like I would sell to women that was going up to the jails. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they would bring them. But at one time I had a problem. People was beefing because they was saying that they wouldn't let the book in the jails because it had the gun on the cover.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
that's what I'm trying to explain with JPay.
Come on, man. I said, come on, man. Like, I said, something ain't right because at the end of the day, I watched this white dude write Sex, Money, Murder, and they allowed that shit all in the jails. You know what I'm saying? And he had a gun on that cover. You feel me? Right. And I'm like, and it's Sex, Money, Murder. And I'm like, yo, first of all, I already know that white dude don't know Pete. Sounds like life
to me.
He don't know Pete, so I don't know how he got that story. But at the end of the day,
or how he took that title. See, he just took the name because he knows it's affiliated with Pete, like you saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Like, so it's almost like what James calls a culture vulture.
Right? Yeah. That's exact. Yo, and you know some funny shit because I was coming through an airport one day and I wanted to, I move around. Yeah. So I go in the airport, it's a bookstore in there. I'm going in there, I meet them. I'm trying to see how I get my books in there. You know what I'm saying? And they tell me, do this, that, and the third, or whatever they told me that day. But I turned around and I seen that Sex, Money, Murder book stacked up in there. And I was like, yo, I can't believe this shit, man.
He's getting it moving.
This dude is all over the fucking place.
Maybe who he knows.
Yes.
It's not,
I need to know somebody. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a publicist or somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because I have Journey to the Kingdom of Soul book 2.
Yes. What's this one about?
This is the same. See,
is this
the
fantasy?
whole
this is
thing,
fantasy.
Yes, the whole storyline is Timos wants to take over the soul of the people. You know what I'm saying? And in order to get to the soul of the people, he has to go and get it from the Kingdom of Soul. And it's being guarded by Queen Mary Jane. You know what I'm saying? You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
It's the queen of hip hop soul. But at the end of the day,
Mary
she's guarding it.
Shout out Mary J. Blige, the queen.
Yo, shout out to the queen, man.
That's right.
She
it's your ode to her.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's guarding it.
While you was locked up.
And the ill shit is her general is not general. You know what I'm saying? So,
but this ode to Mary J. Blige is all while you locked up inside.
Nah, it was
thinking about the queen.
Nah, it was all about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I listen to a lot of Mary, man. I listen to a lot of Mary.
Heard you.
That's the one thing about me when I'm writing. I gotta listen to music. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have my flow going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when I'm in the street, now I can smoke and I can write and I can do music. But when I was in jail, it was none of that.
Couldn't do that.
Nah, well, you don't have it every day like
right. It was limited.
Yeah, so it's like when you get it, it's party time. It ain't even work time. This shit here was work. You know what I'm saying?
How long did it take you to write a book?
Journey, Real Always Wins.
This first one right here.
That one took me 8 months.
200 plus pages.
That one took me 8 months.
8 months to
The next one I wrote after that was Cash Flow. Cash Flow took me 6 months. After that, I wrote Never Let Your Guard Down. That took me about 4 months. Then after that, that's when I came up with the story of Journey to Kingdom Soul. And I was like, because I got to come different. I got to do something different.
And you wrote 2 books about that. You basically
I wrote 3 books about that. That's a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? And I just went crazy with that. And I wrote book 1 in like 3-4 months. And I wrote that at night while in the daytime I was writing a movie. You know what I'm saying? Writing a screenplay.
How do you find the time to do all of this?
I was in the box, Chris. At that time, I had probably like 3 years in the box or some crazy shit.
But that's still dedication and focus.
Oh, yeah. Nah, you got to be focused to do that shit because you do it every day. One thing about writing and writing a book or writing a movie or anything like that, you got to do it every day because you'll lose a lot when you don't go back to it.
Right.
Even if you write a line, yo, even if you just sit there and you fucking look at that shit,
right.
You know what I'm saying? To keep it fresh. So when you sleep and you know what I mean? All of these things play out in a person that a lot of people don't understand. When you lay, a lot of things, your brain is cooking, yo.
Even while you're sleeping, your brain is cooking.
Your brain is cooking.
It never
so you
stops.
think my brain didn't cook these stories? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I had to wake up and say, yo, fuck that. Yo, you know what she did and he did and
right.
You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere.
Man, that's fire.
Thank you, brother.
That's fire. That's fire. But it takes a lot of time. I know that for sure. And then, so what's the next step that Ever is trying to get into?
The next step.
I know you spoke to my brother. Let's talk about that because you talked to my brother about, or he asked you about a story and you wrote it already, I believe.
Irv got his tails thing going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, Irv.
And he just got the funding for like television shows and movies and everything from when he sold the Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has the funding.
So
$200 million.
I was able to, you know, cross paths with him and talk to him. Like, you know, Irv, you know, I know you need content. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I know how to write. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you know how to write? Yeah, man. You know, he looked at me crazy, like, what are you talking about? But he said, yo, you know, you write an episode, what you want to write? And I told him I wanted to write something for Tales. I ain't going to say what it is, but he said, yo, you put that work in, and we going to see what's going on. So I said, all right, bet. You know what I mean?
Once you have it completely finished, is it all done?
Oh, yeah, I wrote that.
All right, so then I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it to Irv.
I'm on it. Like I was on it. When
Irv, you hear me?
When Irv said that to me,
it's coming, boy.
Yo, listen, Chris. When he said that to me, he sparked some shit in me. You know what I'm saying? Because I left him, and I kind of cut everybody the fuck off for 2 weeks, straight up and down.
So it took you 2 weeks to write it?
Yeah, it took me 2 weeks to write.
Now this is just an episode, 40-minute episode, or. Right, an hour show.
I was going for the 2-hour special. You know what I'm saying? I was going for the big thing here.
Yeah,
you know
I got
what I'm saying?
you.
He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me a time. He just said, "Hey, put it together, Ev. Make sure it's dope." I said, "All right,
yeah,
let's do it."
I get DMs all the time about people that write and want me to give them that opportunity. See, there's only one issue, right? See. We have a relationship, so and Irv spoke to you directly. The issue is when I deal with strangers, in the past we had issues with people saying, oh, that was what I was trying to tell you and you went out and did it. So it becomes a problem to really, truly empower somebody. Do you understand? Because let's say the story, let's use a Tales episode that's out already, which is Fuck the Police.
Right.
Let's say I had 10 people DM me from all over the country, all over the world, different people, don't know each other, about the same topic. But they didn't realize Irv already had the topic, maybe. I'm just using this as an example, not using this saying this happened, because it did not. But I'm just explaining, and this became, like, this is why it's an issue, because then once we go out and do it, and Irv already had it, without reading one DM or anything, he already had it in his brain. They're looking at it like, wait a minute, I gave you that. That's mine.
Yeah.
And that stops me from really empowering people in that way anymore, because I can't take the risk that he's already got everything developed and going. And what's the likeliness of you picking the same song? It's not too hard. Right? A hot song is all we're looking for. Like he does those shows on, and that is an issue. You have to come through the right channels, or we can't just take random. You're coming through the right channel. That's what I'm saying. But
yeah, because
you spoke to the source directly. You spoke to Irv, not me.
And don't get it twisted. I spoke to Irv before that.
Yeah.
And he told me no. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, see, and that's even more. Now he said he opened up.
Right.
He was
like,
he was in a good mood.
And he didn't say a full year at first. He just looked at me like, what? Yeah. And I'm like, yo, did I ask you this before? Like, come on.
And he probably didn't even remember.
Nah, he's looking at me. I'm like, because yo, we was on tour, dogs.
When people are focused, when I am truly focused, people talk to me and I forget, because I'm engulfed in what I'm doing, not because I'm being disrespectful or not paying attention. And Irv has that at the 1,000 power. Like if I have it at 1 power, he's at 1,000 power with that, forgetting what someone might have said to him. He's that tunnel vision and focused on what he's doing. And he forgets, so he probably don't even remember he had that conversation. Then he does it again. It'll hit home. The more he does it, the more it's like resonates inside him, because it's part of what he's remembering now. So you got to follow up. You got to stay on him. And like I said, I'll get him the script as soon as you get it to me. I'll get it to him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm all there. Listen, I don't play no games, Chris. When it comes to this writing thing, I know I'm like a creator. Irv told me to write that. I wrote that in 12 days. I'm talking about I came up with the locations, the characters, what they're gonna look like, what's going on. I spoke to somebody about this, about that. You know, I know how to, you know, move my brain around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To shake it up. You know what I mean? Drive around. You know what I'm saying? I know how to shake that shit up and get the story out. So that's what I did.
Nah, that's what's up. He's always looking for writers, though, for real, for real. Yeah. Like, because writing in Hollywood is everything. Yeah. Those writers are the money. They the ones that create these shows.
Right.
They're the ones that create all of these different movies, and you need constant, you know, Hollywood is like broke to me. It's broken, meaning they only regurgitate all this old shit.
Right?
Yeah, they not, who's coming up with these things? That's why I'm interested when you say you came up with a fantasy book, because that's what's his name? Come on, George, who made Star Wars?
Oh, George, yeah,
George Lucas.
Yeah.
All fantasy.
Right, yeah.
That's why he made all that fucking money.
Right.
Right? All fantasy.
I'm telling you, I need a publicist,
Avatar.
man. We can get money, man. We
you know,
can
there's
do
so
this.
many movies that is just fantasy.
Mm-hmm. And they big. They
and
huge.
Like these are out of someone's brain, just something different, and then Hollywood bought into it. But they don't have a lot of that that's really worth anything. If you come up with something like that, it's really that big.
Yo, Chris, when I came up with this idea, I looked at the characters as being toys in McDonald's, yo.
That's the next part of it.
You know what I'm saying? That's how deep I went into that book. When I sat there and I wanted to create that, I said, yo, these characters could be so dope that people will buy them as toys.
They will.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit, McDonald's could sell anything.
You feel what I'm saying?
Put it in a Happy Meal. It's out of here.
And I own all the rights for the books.
Ooh wee.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you talking about that shit right there.
I am a real independent artist. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's dope shit.
Thank you, brother.
Dope. So what's next after that?
After that, we're gonna try to get something going on the series tip. You know
When you say series, like a TV series?
Yeah, like a TV series. You know what I mean? I want to get it very involved.
You want to make The
in that.
Wire?
Well,
something like that?
Nah, it don't have to be on some street gangster shit.
I'm just
you know
saying,
what I'm
that's a series though.
Oh yeah, nah. I got
Seinfeld.
I got
Is that better?
I got stuff. Nah,
You wanna
that's
do-
it. I don't want
what's
to do
the-
Steinfeld.
Why
you know
not?
what I mean? 'Cause
Seinfeld's monstrous.
I
Friends.
need action.
How about Friends?
Friends. Well, you know, I mean,
Fresh Prince.
those was huge. There you go.
Martin.
Martin, classic.
Classic.
Martin is the best TV series ever, yo.
Ever.
Like,
You know it's crazy
They had their
'cause-
run, man.
Man, Martin, you killed it, yo.
Yeah, man.
I watch that shit to this day. That's only TV I watch. I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the shows I watch on TV. It's late in the night. BT has the run of it. And it's Martin. I will watch Fresh Prince and the Wayans Brothers and Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, damn.
Those
yeah,
are the
man.
only episodes, the only
Word.
shows I look for to watch.
And you know, those are all the shows that I was jammed up having to watch.
That you had no choice.
I had no choice
the
but
only
to
thing on
watch
the
them
box in the
over
TV
and
room.
over and over again. So this is why.
Hey, maybe, you know what? See what you just said?
But
Maybe we need to do a study, a case study in that because of the crack era. Is that the right time frame?
yeah, I'm a part of that.
all of the
I'm a
people,
part of
all of
that.
the incarcerations, mass incarceration that happened, that they was inside, and these are the shows they made popular and watched because they had no other choice.
You had no choice, yo. Like half of them jails, you didn't even have
Man, that's
channels
an interesting
like that.
concept to look into because of that time frame, because that's the crack era and everyone was getting locked up with football numbers and they couldn't come home. So they're sitting there and they got to watch Martin in all those shows.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's a different, it's another perspective. I'm a big believer that hip hop culture, our culture, starts from the inside out. Is that crazy? I believe that the incarcerated people from our culture creates all the trends and things like that, tells someone, and it comes from that to outside. I know all the slang words and everything.
Yeah, nah,
when you
the
see
slang
people
came from jail.
sagging their pants, that's all inside stuff.
Yeah, nah,
That's from inside.
Yeah.
It's not from out here. So I always looked at that. That's why it's very interesting to say that the effect that incarceration had on these TV shows. They have what they call the Bill Cosby effect. When the Cosby Show, the Cosby effect, they did this case study. Black people started graduating and going to college at a higher level than ever before because of the Cosby Show.
Yeah, I remember because they promoted so much HBCUs in there, and she's going to Howard and he's going there. They had a lot of that, and plus.
It's the first time
them
you
two
seen.
He was the doctor and she was the lawyer.
It was almost
fantasy.
Hey, that was almost a fantasy land. Yeah, two black men
In Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy.
In Bed-Stuy, living like that, a doctor and a lawyer and
all
a
these
great
kids, and
family.
you get to do what you want to do.
Fuck out of here. Who dreamed this shit up?
But we believed it. You know what I'm saying? I remember me and my sister sitting back watching that shit every day.
No, but
wow.
think about it, and then there's from an effect, a cause and effect standpoint, I wanted someone to do the Kardashian effect. And as crazy as it sounds, the things that they have created in this country from their growth and development is fucking woo.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And I could sit there and say they made interracial shit way, way more acceptable than ever before because of the Kardashian effect. The asses, you can't tell me that they didn't make all of these, what are they, BBLs? Is that what they call?
BBW.
BBL, no, BBW is a big body woman or something, right? The BBL is that lift, the big booty lift.
The lift? Oh, yeah, they made the lift famous.
They made the lift, not famous, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Over the top.
And I'm saying that no one does the Kardashian effect, because I look at these young girls today and the way they get their makeup, their hair, everything, their asses, their tits, is looking like Kim and her whole family over there. Yeah. And Kylie. You know, Kylie's a billionaire off of this shit. Yeah. They parlayed this shit into billions. Yeah. Shout out to the Kardashians and the Jenner family for killing this shit like that. But again, they have an effect on the culture of these girls, these young girls, and what's going on. And it's crazy. But definitely, that's a great topic or understanding when you mentioned you had to watch it while you was inside. Yeah, you had to watch it. So imagine how many other people had to watch it. Imagine being in a jail and you got the TV in your cell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it only has 3 fucking channels. Yeah. It only has 3 channels, right? And imagine what those channels are. You got one, it was Fox. Yeah. Fox 5. So today is different. Yeah, today they I don't know. They because I've been home for a while. I'm gonna tell you why I've been home for a while. So yeah, my documentary, the Murder Inc. documentary with me and my brother, just came out on BT, 5-part series, and I got so many calls from my boys inside saying that the jail was on froze. Yeah, now BT, we all have BT. No, listen to me. They said everybody's in that room watching that damn documentary. Every episode, it was like the hottest shit in jail. Yeah. Anyone BT is in there. BT and the Spanish channel is the 2 bangingest channels in there, man. All right. That's why they love. That's why they love Tales. Because Irv pushes the limits to the scenes as far as sex scenes and things of that nature. Right. So inside, they loving it because they getting as much as flesh scene as possible without being not able to be on a BT. Yeah. Yeah. Irv pushes that envelope every time because that's our culture. Well, wait till they see the joint that I wrote for Tales. You know what I'm saying? Wait till you see that joint. Let's see how we going with that. Man, I want to wish you all the luck and success, man. Thank you very much. You deserve it, yo. And the work you put in, I watch you work. I watch all the things you do. And I mean, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. If I never said it, and I know I did, though, but I'm going to say it on air, so now you can never act like I never said it. You're going to be stuck with this one. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And again, real always wins. I'm hoping real and praying that that's wins. Real. You can get whatever you need from my link tree. It's linktr.ee/EverDomo, which is EverDomo. And on there, we have the link to my books. We have the link to apparel. We have the link to all the videos that we make and documentaries that we filmed. And also, we have a podcast. It's called Let Me Tell You a Story Podcast. Before I go, Let Me Tell You a Story Podcast is a book podcast, all right? That podcast is where we release a chapter of our books as an episode, yes. So you get to listen to the chapter of the book. Fire. On there. And we're going to have one joint that's just the whole book. Right. So you can listen to it straight. It's going to be long. They're long. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about 20 plus hours, but it's on Spotify and it's on Apple and on Anchor and Google and stuff like that. Thank you. Dope concept. We've been running with that for some months, and we got Journey to Kingdom Soul up there. We got Cabin Love, which is written by Latoya Monique, published by EverDomo Media, and we got Real Always Wins coming up on there, and we got some Real Always Wins, and we got some poems from a poem song up there too. So if you like to listen to poetry, we got some up there too. Your old book rhyme of book. The old book of rhymes. Book of rhymes. Nah, that old book of rhymes, I think I gave that to my son, man. Oh man, I hope he ain't saying those words, man. Nah, he's not even the creative, man. He's not even. He looks at it and he's like, nah. You don't want to do it. Nah. How old is he? He's 27, 28 now. He's a what's that generation? That's a what is his generation? Not Z. He's a millennial.
Millennial?
Yeah, he's a millennial.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to do none of this stuff that I do.
All good.
I know he's gonna shoot me for saying that,
It's
but
all
hey,
good.
man.
Hey, let them join. Sometimes, they got to walk their own path.
Yeah.
They got to walk their own journey.
Nah, it's all good.
That's
hey,
a
listen,
fact.
it's
That's
all good. It's all good.
But I want to thank you again for coming on. Real always wins. Go get
Thank
the
you.
book. Everybody support this independent artist. This is how we got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank everyone for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Keep it up. We're doing great. Giving them the Business Podcast. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo, my partner Don Dinero, Kwala, who's not here with me. He's moving his book too. The Formula. Go cop it. Independent artists. Please, you know what I'm saying? Keep everything moving, man. I love it. Thank you.